on. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here on a Sunday to learn more about what myself and these incredible women have been through, and how we've really come to this place of self-healing and just finding modalities and things that have really helped us, you know, individually. And we're very different, but we all have this one thing that we've all found together that has made such a difference. And just to be able to be here and be able to share this information with all of you is so wonderful. So I just want to thank you all again so much for being here and for listening to us, because we're so excited to share this with you. And these women are just my biggest inspirations. I'm so proud to be here with these ladies today. And I'd love to start. My name is Alice Carter, and I am originally from the UK, so it's great to see a lot of UK peeps here representing. I live in Mexico now, though. I couldn't stay in that dreadful weather any longer, so I now live here. But what happened for me was 3 years ago, when this food and this opportunity came to me. I was in a very dark place. I was going through a transition, as we all sometimes do, that looked like a divorce. I lost my job. My mental health was suffering. My physical health was at an all-time low. I was suffering with leaky gut syndrome, crippling depression and anxiety. And I was malnourished because I was unable to absorb food through the gut because my gut had so many holes in it. So looking back, it's kind of a strange time, but I had exhausted what I felt like was every avenue that I possibly could to get to a new place of wellness, of health. And until one day when I didn't know what I was going to do, I was bedbound at this point. A wonderful woman who's actually on this call supporting us today, her name's Alison Jade. She reached out to me and she said, girl, I see what you're going through. And I want to help you because I've been through similar things myself and you don't need to suffer anymore. And I was like, I feel like I've tried everything, but you know, Alison was so kind to me and so lovely. And when she told me about her struggles with mental health and learning disabilities and how she'd overcome so much, I was just like, well, I have to. And what it looked like for me in the UK was a 10-day immersion on the world's most potent healing foods on the planet. When I learned more about it, I was like, wow, glyphosate tested, 36 times purity tested from seed to farm to your door. I'd never heard of food that was so potent. I didn't know it existed. And Alison and other leaders educated me on the fact that our food system is so corrupted now that we're simply unable to get our basic human needs met in terms of nutrition for the body. So we're all overfed and undernourished, and that had led to so many problems in my body. And so I was just nourishing and filling my body with all these incredible foods. And it was very quick for me. I mean, within 3 days, I woke up and kind of looked at the world differently. I had this positivity. I felt joy. I felt like I could get up and make something of myself. And for so long, I'd been stuck in this spiral of depression, negative thinking, not wanting to socialize with people, which is a huge indicator for me that things are steadily going downhill. And I suddenly felt rejuvenated. I'd met Alison and all these amazing other humans who were just so like me and all had been going through this, and they just supported me and loved me through this process. So within days, my parents, I was living with them tragically, but they were like, wow, like you're different. And I'm like, I know, I feel so good and I don't know why, but I need to tell everyone about it. And I was drinking my green juice and I was healing my gut, and oh my goodness. So I just kept going. And by day 10, just 10 days on this, I stopped taking medication that I'd been taking for 12 years for my leaky gut problems. And I started eating bread, God forbid. And I started to just eat and enjoy, and I could feel that my body was absorbing, and I felt rejuvenated, and my skin started to change, and the life came back into my eyes. And that was the moment when I realized I'd found my calling in life, which is to share about this. Absolutely, with as much passion as love as you can see today, because no one should have to suffer what humans suffer right now. Everyone deserves the right to live disease-free, mental health, clear, and just in the most vibrant state that they can be. And so I'm so blessed that this is what I do every day. And my story is living proof that these things can be turned around. We don't need to be sick. We don't need to get sick. We can prevent sickness before it even happens. And that happens when we flood our body with the intelligent nutrition that it truly needs. And what us ladies work with is just the solution, which is finding all of that in one place, straight from the source, from Mother Earth, straight to your door. And we are living proof that, oh my goodness, just everything can change in a matter of days. So I'm so blessed that I found this 3 years ago. My health is at an all-time high. I'm now like in fitness. I'm a bodybuilder, an athlete, when before I could barely get out of bed. So just so many blessings to the woman who introduced this to me, and to these incredible women who also are here to share their stories. And I'd love to introduce the amazing, incredible Miss Brianna, because she was a woman who has had quite a story of her own, and she's been so courageous through all of this. And I'd love to open the floor to you, darling, so you can share a little bit about what this has done for you.
Hi, thank you for the introduction, Alice. It was the summer of 2020, right after the quarantine in Texas here, the pandemic, whenever Alice and Allison actually found me. I'm glad Allison's on this call too. And I was working full-time at a men's salon, like kind of a high-end salon, and I was remaining optimistic at the time, and I was hoping and kind of dreaming for a way to heal people. I was on a spiritual journey at the time before my life kind of changed dramatically. I was already kind of on a health journey, detoxing in my own way from what I could like learn from Dr. Sebi and things like that with alkalizing the body. And whenever I started to take the Biomedic and drink the wheatgrass shake, I literally felt connected to the sun. Like I had never felt so alive. Like I've already had like a lot of gratitude in my heart. And I had truly felt like I manifested this into my life the day that the first call I ever had with Alice and Allison. It was life-changing. And I didn't realize that my spiritual journey was going to take such a fast forward whenever I started this. My self-awareness, my intuition, my clairvoyance, clairaudience, and telepathy, things like that really just spiraled into a whirlwind. It was a little overwhelming at first, truthfully. I was very grateful for that, but I was also, I think, a bit unprepared. So I started traveling a lot once I freed my mindset, and I didn't realize how much my gut health was actually holding me back, because I had been plant-based for a few years prior to that. And I had already healed myself of asthma and allergies on my own. But when I changed and balanced my gut microbiome, I was literally starting to see the world completely different. I was seeing people completely differently. I was opening up my heart in so many different ways, and ways that I had been wanting to for a long time. And it felt easier, it felt lighter. I felt like I was easier to be with myself, so to speak. I started just honestly, a little recklessly blowing my money, traveling everywhere in the US that I could. I was hiking a lot. I went to New Mexico, Colorado, Washington State, New York, Arizona. I was traveling everywhere. And sorry if you guys can hear my cat, she's not happy right now. And I was just looking for all the scenery and just looking for any space that I could feel like myself. And I ended up finding myself internally actually being without it for a little while and then coming back to it. I had went down this path of juicing and raw veganism for a short amount of time. And I was still kind of finding different pathways of healing in my own body. And I realized that I had a lot more work to do, because anyone who's had a spiritual awakening, I'm sure all of you have, you feel like you know 100 things and then you feel like you know nothing within the same 5 minutes. It's exhausting. So I end up finding plant medicine and spiritual healing, Reiki, pranic healing, breath work, meditation. And I was already aware of those things, but I really started to feel like I needed them. We all do in some type of way, but I was really feeling called to practice this every day, because now that I had raised my vibration so high, I needed to channel it. I needed to control my frequency on my own, because I became an energetic sponge at some point. And I know a lot of you guys are probably empaths as well, so you probably feel that on an extreme level. But when you start healing your body and cleansing it of basically basically, I'll call it matrix food, quote unquote. When you start cleansing yourself of matrix food, you start being more connected to source and to your reality. And so you're realizing you have a lot more control, and that can be a bit overwhelming. So when I stopped taking I'll call it my superfoods. So when I stopped taking my superfoods for almost a year, I noticed all these insights I had had when I learned through taking them for the first 6 months of 2020. I stopped most of 2021, and I was noticing all the insights I had that I was not honoring were starting to kind of derail my life in a lot of different ways. So once I realized, okay, I've had all these insights, I need to respect what I've learned and put it to use. And now that I've been putting all these things to practice, I can feel myself creating the reality that I want. And it's making it much more easily manageable. And I am forever grateful. And I honestly can say I will never be without these ever again. And I am just so grateful. Like, I seriously am so grateful. I would not be here today. I would not have become the person I am and still be on this journey of growth and courage if I had not started this journey balancing my gut health. I truthfully would never have gotten this far. So forever grateful to Alice and Allison for finding me that day. Honestly, changed my life forever. Thank you so much. And I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Alice. So thank you. Thank you for letting me speak today.
So beautiful, so inspiring, Brianna. You're just an incredible human, so special. And I'm so proud to be doing this with you and to watch your expansion and watch you just bloom and turn into this courageous woman that you're supposed to be. And food is just everything. When you heal the gut, you heal your life. And, you know, there's so many amazing women on this call. And next, I'd love to call upon Miss Juniper Rose. She is just one of the most beautiful hearted ladies that I've ever met. She is showing up tirelessly every single day to help people, to connect to more people, to show more people that they are so worthy of feeling good and just connecting them to what's going to help them. And I'd love for you, Juniper, to unmute and share a bit of your story here, my love.
Thank you so much. What an amazing opportunity. Thank you for having this available to share. That's really what I've been doing as well, just sharing with the world, anyone that will listen. For probably the past 7-8 years, I've been on a health journey. Most recently, though, around the 2020 timeframe, all of us went through that whole shutdown isolation mode, and I wasn't getting the food that I knew, the organic quality nutrition. I was getting my food brought in from, the instant, shopping online and get it delivered. And I couldn't be the person who was making that choice if there wasn't something that I wanted. It was out of stock, they would do a substitute, and I'm not going to refuse food. So with that came the mainstream corporate food type, not the organic. What really started to shift after about 6-7 months of eating that way, it was around this time in 2020, I started getting really bad pain, like in my joints, my fingers. I was always at the computer. I worked for an online company that I was just always in front of people, customer service, typing away. So I went to my provider and asked, is this something like carpal tunnel? I wasn't sure what I was dealing with. And she says, that doesn't sound like it. Let's run some tests. So she thought it was symptoms like RA, rheumatoid arthritis. So she sent me for all the gamut of tests, and I had really high C-reactive protein, which is an inflammation marker that they test for in our blood. So I started looking at what reduces C-reactive protein, and just started to really try to focus. They sent me for all sorts of tests. It comes out, no, it's not RA. They thought, well, maybe do you have, after a whole 4 or 5 months of this, testing back and forth, thought the term multiple sclerosis came up. And so, that's actually something that I dealt with back in 2004. I lost vision in my left eye, and they wanted to give me steroids. I was pregnant with my son at the time, so I refused that option. I said, no, thank you, I'll figure it out, and went on with life. 18 years had gone by between those, 2004 and 2020, or whatever that term of time frame. 16 years had gone by, and it was just something that when they told me, do you have multiple sclerosis, I remembered that, like, oh yeah, this is something I should probably pay attention to. So there I go back for more tests, did the MRI and everything. It comes out, yeah, you have MS. So they wanted to put me on a $4,000 a month prescription, which has horrible side effects that I'm reading about. And I'm like, potentially losing my hair, potentially losing my sanity. And I thought, no, thank you. There's something else for me out there. So I kept looking, and with the history that I had already, transformed my life with organic nutrition, I was really open to receiving something else. And that's when this wonderful superfood was introduced to me by a friend also, who said, here, try some of this. And wow, wouldn't you know, after being about 2-3 months on this ultimate transformation of really good organic superfoods, I felt so many shifts. My inflammation is gone. I'm not getting that stiffness in my back and my joints and my hands any longer. My toes, I was getting numbness and tingling in my toes. And that's, notorious. People are like, oh, well, you have MS. Of course you can't feel your toes. It's like, that's not right. I need to feel my toes. And so I went deeper and did a heavy metal detox with some of these superfoods. And I am just so amazed with the alkaline nutrition that I'm able to bring from this. It's been so overwhelming. I can feel the sensations in the tips of my toes again. I'm not inflamed. So, just so many things that I rely on this stuff as my daily nutrition. And I would always tell people when they would ask me, how did you lose your weight? Because on my journey, I had lost 70 pounds, and people would always ask, how did you do that? I tell them 7 to 10 cups of leafy greens a day, and people look at me like I'm from the moon. And what I love about this is that you get actually 6 micronutrient salads in just one super green shake. And it's like, this is how you can do it. So it's not only just health and nutrition across so many things that I've been able to support myself and my cellular level, but also, to be able to share. It's just really been a passion for me. So I'm excited to share, and I'd love to join in with this movement for sure. And so it's been really powerful. But I'll definitely hand it back to you, Alice. Thank you so much for hosting.
Thank you. Such a warrior. Isn't that incredible? We're so blessed to have people who are willing to look outside of the norm, because $4,000 a month, when you can just drink this incredible elixir and just make your body healthy and give your body what it needs again, there is always a better solution. Thank goodness, Juniper, that you didn't opt for all these things when you were pregnant with your son, and that you are an incredible advocate for a real healthy lifestyle. Like, thank you so much for that story. It was incredible to hear. There are elements I hadn't heard before, so I'm just blown away by you. So thank you, darling. My goodness, so much value. And last but not least, I have my incredible friend Rhiannon. She's a mom of 6 children. She's homeschooling them. They're about to move. She's been on such a journey with her health, and I'm not going to give too much away, but Rhiannon has an incredible story, and I want to give the stage to you, darling, to share about your experience incorporating these foods in.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you to the ladies that have already shared. Amazing stories, truly. So my story began after my C-section. I had all natural births, and then I had a C-section with my 6th, and it rocked my world. I had never had so many drugs inside of my body. I had never had surgery like that. And I felt like there was no support and help for the emotional response I had to it. I was 240 pounds and I hurt everywhere. I couldn't walk down the hall. I couldn't hardly do anything without aching everywhere. So I started this journey originally for weight loss, even though I had all these issues. I was thinking weight loss. But then I realized, so let me back up. So I started with weight loss. I was trying all these different things. I went on a 100-day plant-based journey and I found some relief. And then I went on a 100-day raw vegan journey. On day 75, around there, I happened to see a video with Miss Alice talking, and I was mesmerized by her. Her glow and her excitement for life. And so I reached out, and her and Allison really helped me to kind of see the value in what they were doing, because I was nervous, about trying something else, because I thought I was already at the tip top with raw vegan. So I introduced these superfoods. I'll borrow that from Brianna. And I was blown away. So I started the ultimate lifestyle transformation, or what people call the ULT. And I ended up doing 3 of them in a row. At this point, I am down almost 85 pounds from when I was 240. And then the last 20 so far are from these ULTs. But the beautiful thing was the healing that came, the health and wellness that came. I don't have depression. I don't have anxiety, unless my kids get a little sick. I get a little anxious, but for the most part, I don't have depression, anxiety anymore. My thyroid is functioning so much better. My goal and hope is one day to be off of medication for it. I can run and play with my kids. We can play ball together, which is something I could never do before. They're so much happier with their mama now, and it's just a beautiful thing to be able to take your ordinary, regular life and see how beautiful and special and wonderful it is, and to be able to enjoy it. And then my kids now, I give them shakes every day with Epigenius. That's for the kids. It helps with their guts. I'm watching restoration in my oldest son. It's just been a beautiful journey. So thank you so much for inviting me to share my story today, because it has literally transformed my life. And now I know it's going to go on to transform the other 7 people in my family, my husband and my children, and then beyond. And that's a great joy to be able to share that.
Oh my goodness, so touching. Thank you, Rhiannon. And of course, this is for the whole family. It's for the children, because we cannot stop certain toxins, for example, glyphosate going into our bodies. But with this program, with these superfoods, we have the only clinically proven solution to remove it from the body. So we do this wonderful service for our children, for our family, for our friends, when we can offer them this as a solution instead of surgeries, instead of prescription drugs, instead of depression. And your story always moves me so much, Rhiannon. Notice these ladies are so inspiring to me because they became their own doctor. They used critical thinking and they thought outside the box. They questioned. And this is where we've all come to, and we've all aligned together and formed this incredible bond, because until you've lived this way, until you've really put this into your body, you don't know. And one of our speakers, bless her, she couldn't make it today, but we're so blessed to have our wonderful Miss Allison, who I'm going to put on the spot right now. She didn't know she was going to be speaking, but she's here. And Allison is the reason that I'm here today. And as a result, all of these ladies and most of you. So Allison, I know that you weren't going to be speaking, but would you mind just sharing your story in like 5 minutes? Because you are the reason that I started this program in the first place.
Oh my goodness. Yes. I was just writing in the chat, once you experience this, you have to share it. So I was not in the business of health or wellness. I was a fashion designer. I was working as a stylist, and I dealt with, my issues were depression, anxiety. I was diagnosed as bipolar. After having my second child, I was diagnosed with postpartum psychosis. And it was really bad. I was really scared that I couldn't be the functional, happy, mother that I always wanted to be. And another thing I dealt with was I had eczema and IBS as well. And I didn't really, I thought I was eating well. So I didn't know that they were connected at that time. And I didn't know they were all gut related issues until I did this. So until I did the ULT, which is the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation, I just went on a limb to do it because Rhiannon was saying, is like, you were doing, I thought I was doing all the right things. So I really kind of went into it being like a little skeptical, being like, I am eating really well now. I don't think it's gut related, but the person who introduced it to me, I really trusted her. And so I was just like, you have to try things for yourself, to really know. And I knew that this couldn't hurt me. This is all like reading the ingredients. It's just like incredible. It's all amazing, organic, whole food. So I thought, why not? Okay. So I did it. And within a few days, what I noticed was my depression and anxiety really lifted. I felt like it was like I actually started this at the beginning of winter, so much like this time of year where the days are getting shorter and colder, and normally I fall into depression, and this was like the craziest thing because every day I was feeling better and better as the days were getting colder. And then and before that, I had no intention of sharing it. I was just going to do it myself. But then my husband wanted to join too. He wanted to start trying it because he started dabbling in mine and feeling better. And then I watched my husband transform his life. And then I knew 100%, like, cause it wasn't just me. I knew I have to share this with the world. So I actually just, it was very organic for me to share because even though I'm an introvert and I'm shy, it was like, when something works so well and you feel so good and people were coming to me actually, because my skin was like glowing and my eczema was going away and everything. I was just like sharing it naturally. And it felt really, yeah, it just, I started sharing it, and actually the more I shared it, the more I started seeing other people's results, and it motivated me to share it more and more. And so this is what I do now. I've devoted my life to, and I'm just so proud of all of you guys, like hearing your stories. Some of you I've heard before, and some of you I'm still learning, but it's like at each and every single time I see someone else get their grip on their healing journey, like, for a lot of people, just the missing piece. Most of the people who come to this are already on their healing journey. Jared, please. So it's like once, it's just that missing piece to see people take that, like, just take that next level in their healing journey and feel that empowerment, feel that they can take charge and they can heal themselves, and really feel that belief come back into them, because a lot of people are coming from, so many different, like, the ringer of the system, and trying so many different things. And what I love is that this is so easy, and it really is like self-empowerment in a box. It's just like, here, you can heal yourself, and you don't even know what you're going to heal, because you don't know that what you're suffering, how much what you're suffering with is gut, and how it's how it's all related. So I just encourage everyone to just try for themselves. That's always the best place to start. Thank you so much for letting me speak.
Thank you so much. I know I can call on Alison because she is so used to telling her story, but it always blows my mind. This is the reason why I was like, I'm 100% in. Thank you, Alison, to you and your family for changing all of our lives. And to anyone listening, this is a lifestyle that we've adopted. For me, it's 3 years. For Alison, it's 4 years. For some people, it's 6 months, some people a year. But it never stops. You start with your immersion of 30 days. If you're in the US, if you're in the UK, it's 10, the way I did it. And you continue this, because this is preventative care. This is the purest food shipped from the family straight to your door every single month. It's like Christmas every single month in all of our houses. And it means that you don't have to worry. It covers all the bases, everything that we could need. So we call it the ultimate lifestyle transformation. And it is that for a reason. Whoever brought you on this call, they actually have a gift code for you for 25% off getting started. So it takes it down to just $11 US a day for 2 superfood meals, all your snacks, everything that you need to start your life. The way that really my life began when I started this lifestyle. And I feel a lot of these ladies feel the same. So if you would like to learn more, if you want more information about the pack, if you just want to start with us and just start your new life and see what health can bring and how much peace of mind is actually the most priceless thing on earth, then I encourage you get back to the person that invited you on this call, and don't delay, because you're just delaying feeling this good. There are no words. But I'd love, if anyone has any questions for anyone here that spoke, I'd love to just give a minute for that. Otherwise, I want to respect time and let everyone enjoy their Sunday evenings. Perfect. Okay, so everyone's ready to start. This is good news. Okay, perfect. So get back with the person who brought you on the call, and we're so excited to welcome you into the family. And I just want to extend a huge thank you again to all these amazing, inspiring women for speaking and sharing their stories, because it's not always easy. And to all of you who took the time to come and listen and learn about your next step, the thing that is going to change your life, because it did for all of us. And that is the point of this call. But so much love. Thank you so much. And we are so excited to speak to you all about starting everything here. So much love, and thank you again. Have an amazing evening.